Hello, my name is Rebecca. I'm with Mountain Heart Community Services, and this is an introductory video for any of you that want to become a provider with a child care resource and referral. Thank you again in your interest in becoming a child care provider. First of all, you'll need to ask yourself a couple of questions before you begin your journey. 1, do you enjoy working with children and families? 2, do you have a high energy level? 3, can I pay attention to what children are doing? 4, you need to have good communication skills because you are communicating with both children and adults. 5, are you willing to learn more about a child's development? 6, you do need to learn basic first aid and CPR. 7, am I able to feed children nutritious meals and snacks? And 8, am I willing to complete required attendance sheets and payment forms to submit on a monthly basis? These are only a few of your basic questions that you need to ask yourself before you begin your journey. Hopefully, you answered yes to those questions and you're eager to learn more about getting started with your child care adventures. There are 3 most common types of providers. The first is a family child care home, a facility which is used to provide non-residential child care for compensation in the provider's home. The provider may care for 4 to 6 children, including children who are living in the household who are under age of 6. Any child under the age of 6 that lives with you will count in that total number. There's no more than 2 of the total number of children may be under the age of 24 months. Family child care facility is any facility which is used to provide non-residential child care for compensation for 7 to 12 children. 4 or more hours a day, which will include children who are living in the household who are under age of 6. So any child that lives with you that is under age 6 does count in the total number of children. No more than 4 of the total number of children may be under 24 months. A child care center is a facility operated for the care of 13 or more children on a non-residential basis. There are certain program requirements with the provider qualifications. You do have to be 18 years or older. You do have to provide care in your home, not someone else's home. You must pay for your own taxes and Social Security. You are considered self-employed with this. Everyone in the home that is 18 years of age or older must be fingerprinted and have no serious criminal history. No one in the home may have a history of abusing or neglecting a child or an adult. You have to have a physical exam, and your home must meet the regulations set forth by the West Virginia DHHR. Regulatory specialists do come out to inspect your homes. Smoking, for those of you who are smokers, is not permitted in a family child care home while the children are in care. You must be able to read and write and understand the rules, agreements, payment forms, and other paperwork involved in the program, and you cannot use any form of physical discipline such as spanking, hitting, or slapping. You must complete the required amount of training set forth by the West Virginia DHHR. For your training, you do have to complete 8 hours of training annually. You can select the training from core competency areas, which is child growth and development, health, safety, and nutrition, environment and curriculum, child observation and assessment, family, community, and relationships, administration and management, professionalism, and leadership. Within 3 months, a family child care provider must also obtain the training in first aid that includes rescue breathing and choke saving. All your training is through West Virginia STARS, which is a training and registry system. The training received through Child Care Resource and Referral Offices is registered with the West Virginia Training and Registry System, and all persons attending the training will need to have a STARS number and register for the trainings by logging on to wvstars.org. Mountain Heart Child Care Resource and Referral Case Managers assist new and existing providers in answering questions about their payment issues and processing provider payment forms. Mountain Heart also offers technical assistance to providers, which will include our TRAIL staff, which stands for Traveling Resource and Information Library System. They include early childhood specialists and TRAILS associates and can make an appointment to visit your home. They lend books, toys, games, equipment, and provide training. With this, they also usually come around every 6 weeks to transfer the toys out so you're not with the same things each time. Behavior consultants make visits to providers' homes to observe children and give ideas to the providers concerning their various behavior issues. Infant and toddler specialist and early childhood specialist provides core competency training and technical assistance to the providers. There's the ones that will give you your 8 hours training annually. The QIS Outreach and Support Specialist is responsible for assisting providers in achieving higher quality standards. Health and Safety Grants. For the Health and Safety Grants, they're funded by the Department of Health and Human Resources and are available for family child care providers to assist you in meeting regulatory and licensing requirements for operating a child care home. A provider must be approved by the Department of Health and Human Resources to be eligible for grant funding. Once you are eligible, the grant amounts are generally $250 and are to be used for the purchase of items needed such as smoke detectors, first aid kits, fire extinguishers, as well as many other items to meet regulation requirements. This is your child care rate structure. This is your pay that you would get for each individual child. The type of care you have is by family child care home. You'll notice it says Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3. You will be a Tier 1 when you start out. You can move up to Tier 2 and Tier 3. That is what the QIS specialist will assist you in doing. Notice that the rates are different for the infant, toddler, preschool, and school age. And like I said, the Tier 1 rates are what you would get. There are special incentives that can be done with this. If you have a special needs child, it does come with an additional $2 a day. And if you have a non-traditional hours, it does go with $4 additional a day. Both of these are explained in your payment training that you will have. So you want to learn more about beginning your new adventures in family child care? This is your next steps in beginning to become a child care provider. Step 1 is the fingerprinting process. The provider and all adult household members, which is residents 18 years of age and older, will need to be fingerprinted. West Virginia Cares is the vendor that has been approved by the West Virginia DHHR to process certain background checks. An administrative account can be set up by calling or emailing. You need to call 1-304-558-2018 or email wvcares@wv.gov. The provider will need to complete the West Virginia Cares online training, and the provider will need to schedule an appointment to be fingerprinted at a MorphoTrust site. The next step is Step 2. You'll need to visit the website below to review the Family Child Care Information Packet and the Home Needs Assessment and Letter of Intent. You can visit the West Virginia DHHR website below by clicking the link. For your next step, which is Step 3, you will follow the instructions as stated on the Needs Assessment and the Letter of Intent to operate a family child care home. And at the bottom of that page, when you get to filling out the form, you sign it and there's an address there, and that is where you'll need to mail your form to. Your next step, which is Step 4, is where child care providers you'll need to complete a pre-service training, basic health and safety in the child care. This is a self-paced training and consists of 10 modules. The child care providers will need to have a West Virginia STARS number and will be registered for the pre-service training through West Virginia STARS. Your next step, which is Step 5, is once you've been approved by the DHHR Child Care Regulatory Specialist as a registered family child care provider, you'll need to contact your local Mountain Heart Child Care Resource and Referral Office to complete the payment form process training, and you'll become a subsidized provider at that time. This is just the review of steps needed to get started. Step 1 was the fingerprinting process. 2 was visiting the DHHR website so you can get the needs assessment and the information packet. Step 3 is completing and submitting the needs assessment and letter of intent to operate the home. Step 4 is completing the pre-service training. And Step 5 is completing the payment form training. For any assistance with your child care subsidy questions, please look at the numbers below and find your county, and you can call them at any time. Our offices are 8:30 to 4:30. If you do not see your county listed, you can call any of the numbers and we'll direct you to the Child Care Resource and Referral Agency that services your area.